Does that work? Yeah. AKA Snake, thank you for the follow. This is all crazy. This is all too crazy for me. Because now that I'm actually collecting evidence, I can show a lot of stuff. Man, oh man. Let's see. I'm taking out a lot of the evidence on my phone, and I'm gonna put it online, and then I'm gonna copy that just in case. Just in case. Just in case. You never know. Yeah. Perfect. Just in case. Yes, perfect. It is in there. Oh, that's so creepy. Oh my god. Uh, oh snap. Oh no. Okay, that's pretty bad. I really don't want most of this stuff to be actually true, but I guess something's happening. So I don't know how to even convey that to most of the people who even come to the stream because. Oh my god, I'm telling you, like, everything's starting to get really, really, really weird because now there's even more people in the so-called listing, and now there's even Tila Tequila. Oh, what's up? Oh, I didn't see all this. Oh, snap. Oop. Oh, what's up, people? Dang, hey, what's up, people? I was even looking at the chat. Hey, what's up, man? How's my day going? It's fine. 9 times, but multi. Okay, that's really that's. I hope you can, you know. I hope that doesn't happen to you again. I hope you like find your way out of harming yourself. Um. Okay, so I got some evidence to show, and it's pretty it's pretty I don't know because it's good for Twitch, which is great. It's great for Twitch because it's not like you're not supposed to show like really bad stuff, but it's a scar and it's just right here on my wrist. And like I thought about like why I it was like so unfortunate because when I first got into the clinic, what happened was that the guy who put the cuffs on, if this was, I need to actually look up the proper procedure to be taken in like somebody with a 5150 or just anybody to a clinic because first of all he said I wasn't under arrest but he still handcuffed me. He didn't say I was being detained, he just handcuffed me. He said I wasn't under arrest, he just put the cuffs on and he didn't say where I was going. They just did it as if they had the right to do it. And apparently they don't. Apparently they did have the right. And then the other cop kept saying that he knows he's doing his job right, like over and over again. I know I'm doing my job right. It was like, that was scary to hear. It was like, no one's debating you right now. And then also, I have to make this clear. This did not happen in a live stream, okay? I wasn't live streaming when this happened. I know most people are so used to all of this happening, anything happening on live stream, but it wasn't a live stream. It was just my real life. I didn't even do a live stream that day. I didn't do a live stream. I was just walking down the street, walking down the sidewalk, and then I had to record it. So this is what I had to do. So I was kind of weirded out because it was so perfect. So when you put the handcuffs on, put it on really tight. You put it on one setting, but then we just put it on all the way, like the tightest he can go, like down to the skin. So it really cut into my skin, and it felt like metal was cutting off, like it was just like shaving off like any skin that I had, any circulation that I had, completely destroying my wrist, like the muscle tissue, all of that, just destroying all of that. That's exactly what it felt like. And apparently that's what happened, because I got a cut, and I got a cut on here. I'm so glad I'm able to at least show something, unless that you wouldn't believe me. You just wouldn't believe that it happened that way. You wouldn't believe. You would probably say he's just exaggerating, that this person actually did something, a malpractice. Because why would you hurt a person that you're trying to send to a health clinic? Why would you try to hurt them? I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense. You're trying to make sure they don't hurt themselves, but if the person's not hurting themselves and they're just sitting there, literally, then why would you actually force them to do anything like that? Why would you force them to actually be detained in a certain way that actually is harming them? It seems really weird. Thank you for the follow. I don't talk. So here's the picture. This is a picture, and I thought I wasn't gonna be able to show it, because basically what happened was, it was so deep, like especially on this wrist, it was so deep on the wrist, the handcuffs, that you couldn't even, like, when they undid it, you couldn't get it off, because it was like right here, but then it was all the way up here. And then it was just stuck. So it's like having metal cut inside your wrist so deeply that it just was stuck on there. And then deep inside the skin and tissue. And then it was like, can you guys take a picture of this? And it got missed. I should have been very adamant on them taking a picture and, actually getting that evidence. Like, hey, this was wrong. This is another wrong, I don't know, part of this whole process. I don't even know the law. I don't even know my rights in that situation. It's like, it's not like I could protest it when I feel like, the reason why I was so upset in the first place because I feel like I was the wrong guy, obviously. But then also, it's like, you can't be upset about what's happening ever. You can never be upset. Why did they force me? Who knows? Who knows why they forced me? Who knows why they forced me? Because even in the clip, even in the video that I showed, I was already complying. And I even said, did you get everything you needed? It's like so weird. So like, here's the picture. It's subtle now, but it's clear that something was. It's clear that it was so deep on on the skin that it cut inside the skin, and then it started to bleed. So there's like a scar there right now. And so happy. Yesterday I took a picture of it because I was noticing it as I was washing my hands. I was like, oh, finally. I thought I wasn't I thought I was not gonna be able to have evidence for that. So this is like some like I don't know, deep LA stuff. You know what I mean? Like the stuff that you hear in like the 90s, like, and then like, like, and then they did this, and the guy shows some type of picture, and it's like a documentary or whatever. I'm trying to. I don't think they were trying to help me. I'm gonna be honest. It was very forced, and a lot of people were trying to say that basically, they are trying to help me. They are just doing their job. But you can even hear the person behind, like, a lot of details most people didn't even care about, like the fact that the officer behind me, like, just said I wasn't cooperating, even though I was actually just sitting there, just like they said for me to do. Quietly, I wasn't like going wild. I wasn't running about, sitting right there, but protesting about what's happening. And then like telling them how I felt in the situation. Shouldn't have said how I felt, but I did. I did say how I felt, so whatever. I mean, whatever. I shouldn't have said it. So this is a picture right here. So, like, can I zoom in? Or so, like, obviously they got it so deep that it started, to, I can't say what it did, but it started, because on Twitch I can't, be very graphic about what it is, but you can obviously tell what happened, how deep it was. And it was like, that was deep. It was so painful, and I was wondering why it was so painful. I was like, this doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem like the right actual tightness if you're just trying to detain me, because he never said he was detaining me. So, all right. Anyway, let me explain what happened when I got there. First of all, just know I was in agony because of that. First of all, I was in agony because of how tight those were, because it was literally cutting me. It was literally just cutting me. It was the pain was actually excruciating. I never felt something that bad. It was like I couldn't really move my hands, because of course that's what they wanted, but you already got the handcuffs behind you, so you can't move anyway. So what are you gonna do? Wait, what do you think? I'm like some superhero, like some super sleuth that can be like, haha, let me. I've been training for this moment all my life, and just like kind of slip, like, crack, like an anime, like crack open my freaking vertebrae in my hand, and just like sloop, just sleep it out, and then just like run or something. Like it's just so excessive. Like that's clear excessive force. And then they were saying, oh man, I didn't want to even get inside the car, because I knew what it meant. You know what I mean? Do I have an Insta? It's in the roll right here. This roll that's going through. All my socials are right here. So, it seemed like they wanted to force the situation. Like I said before, they just wanted to force it, and they wanted to actually like make sure that they got their result, that they were like fabricating literally. And I wasn't helping myself, obviously, but it was like when I calmed down, they were like, okay, because I calmed down. And that's the thing. I calmed down because I was like upset, and I was like, whatever. it's over now, right? I thought it was over, but then they just like said, okay, well, he's now. It's crazy. He's like, imagine you calm down. They're like, comply. You're like, okay. You sit there, right? And you're like, okay, whatever. Who cares, right? Then they're like, he's escalating. he's not cooperating. It was like, really? And then that would make you upset. It's like, so when I got in, right, it was, has to do a bunch of questions. And we were driving there. It was a short drive. And then, this is a crazy thing. He didn't put anything in the GPS. He didn't put anything in the GPS. That's the crazy. He didn't put anything in the GPS. He was like, I'm going right over here. I know exactly where this place is. Almost as if this was the original plan. As if this was the original plan to do this. Like, they needed to find something. And they were like, well, we can just try this out and just see what happens. And then if he doesn't do anything, we can, I don't know, do something and then force him to go. So literally, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to string with Chicken Andy. Chicken Andy has gone in a different, in such a direction that's just scary. It is actually scary. So they can. I'm sorry, man, but like, so when I got there, I was already in pain. Then I had to wait like a good 45 minutes waiting to even be checked in. And then when I got checked in, immediately they're like, all the cops left, and then like they had to say, oh, we're gonna have to get like multiple people to check him in, because, and what the officers were explaining, they explained that I took a fighting stance. And I don't know what type of fighting stance you've ever seen in any type of martial art, but doing like this is not like a fighting stance right here. This is not a fighting stance. Like, what? Like, this is what I went. I was like, what are you doing? That's not a fighting stance. This is like, what are you doing? This is open. If anything, I would have got, like, that would have been easy to get beat up. Okay. So like, that's what they said on the report. That's what the RN had, that the officer said. And she was confused because I was so calm, and most people who come in there are not, okay? They are not calm when they go in. They're constantly protesting, and I was very calm. I was like, whatever, I can't do, legally I can't even do anything about the situation. Legally. So it's like, I'm stuck here until I'm trying to figure out what's gonna happen to me. And so I was terrified, because I was like, I'm forced to be in here. I know I shouldn't be in here, but hey, I guess they can. I guess they do have the authority to force anyone they feel like. Of course, when I say all these things, it's so much easier. But then when I calm down, it's like now we're in an uncanny valley. And then he just needed to say the right things. That's what it seemed like. They needed to say the right things after forcing me to a certain point, and then it could make it seem on paper that I was being belligerent, and that's what it was. But on the video, you can obviously see that all I was doing was like protesting this whole situation and being way too over emotional, and then just literally saying everything that could make me seem like, I want to harm myself. But in that situation, that's how I felt, and I just let them know, hey, this is how I feel. But you shouldn't let the police officer know how you feel about the situation that's happening, obviously. So like, it's like, so what happened though? Well, I was forced inside of a mental health clinic by some police who wanted to say that I fit a description, and I got upset about that. And I was like, what is it this time? And then he was like, sit down. I'm like, why do I have to sit down when I don't even fit the description? He was like, well, come on, dude. It was like, calm down, dude. and I was, okay, and then I calmed down, and then because the craziest thing was because I just got out of my apartment, and it literally surprised me. It was like the last thing I thought was gonna happen. Even last night when I was walking back to my apartment, I was so afraid that something else was gonna happen because when I was driving, when I was working last night, this was I wish I caught that on camera. Well, it was like I was in like the Santa Monica region, and then what happened was that there was a police officer and it was like a traffic light. You know, everybody's stopped, right? And it was just it's like me right here, and then just a little bit forward is the police officer. So you're like, I was like, okay, all right, what is gonna happen this time? Because what happened was that he turned on his light. You know how police officers have those lights on the outside of the car, and he turned it all the way around. He was trying to do. I think he was trying his hardest to turn it all the way around back at me. He was like, and he couldn't do it, so he just did it multiple times just to see if just to see, and then he gave up and then just kept driving, and I was like, you think I overreacted? You think? Come on, man. Of course I overreacted. Of course. So like when I don't even watch Chicken Andy actually. Let's see. Celebrity Deathmatch. Thank you for the follow. So let's see. So yeah, essentially the second I got inside, the health people are like, so what happened? Like what did they do? And I told them the situation, and they were like, is he right? They're like, I don't know about this. And then like the whole process is so ridiculous because they have to strip you bare, right? They have to strip you bare to nothing. They have to take everything away from you that has strings on it just in case. And it's like they were saying that they had to cut my my jogger pants, and I was like, because they're my best jogger pants. And I was like, no, just take it away. This guy was like, I could either cut it right now, you can still wear it, or I can put it in contraband. And I was like, just take it in contraband. Don't cut the don't just like destroy the jeans. Like, why? Just give me whatever. I just asked for like the whatever they had, and the guy, the charge nurse, he gave me like 2 gowns to put over me, and then I was good. I was like, okay, thank you, thank you, because they would have just like cut open like all of my stuff, like just like, well, you have no right. You have nothing. You can't do anything about it. You're forced, especially if you're forced there. And then okay. This is also what I will say. All the staff there, they're all used to having like really belligerent people there. People gnashing at the teeth. People like being violent. People making a struggle. And when a normal person comes in there, it gets a little sad because it's like something, of malpractice happened. Because everybody was like worried, is like, so why? What happened? And I told them exactly what happened, verbatim, and they were like, this doesn't seem right. Right? You don't belong in here. That's the first thing that the RN said. You don't belong here. I don't think you belong in here, but you need to comply. you need to do what everybody says so you can get out. And I was like, okay, thanks, thank you so much, right? Because there were like people. There's like a guy who was like really old, over 40 years old, right? Over 40 years old, and he was talking about how he was still living with his parents and how like this is the guy that I was a roommate with, right? And he was like saying, yeah, dude. he was basically talking to the nurses and psychiatrists the next morning, like, hey, yeah, like I was living with my family, never going back there, and I have my own money and this, and I'm living by myself and all this other stuff, but something must have really happened because he was there for 7 days. He's already there for a week. So some of these people, most of these people are already there for like days. And I got in 6 hours, okay? So that was the difference between me. I'm not gonna go deeper into all the other people who was there because like it's pretty sad. Like there's a guy with autism, and he doesn't have like a social cue, so he was asking like really like invasive questions. And then there's a person who is like, after this one, I'm not gonna go deeper because it gets sad. There's a person who like who just wanted to be in there. Who was trying to like lie to be in there. You know what I mean? So this is advice for you. If you ever get forced inside here, it's like a movie. It's like an actual movie. Like it is a movie. It is a script. It is a script. Like geez. Drink a lot of water. So when they take your blood, then your blood flow will go fast because I didn't want to drink from the contaminated like Gatorade water dispenser because I knew they were like licking the plastic cups and stuff, and then they're putting their cups on the thing, and then they're going back to the mouth and then doing that. And I was like, oh god, that's like really unsanitary. I don't want to catch anything. Like especially here, you don't know what anyone else has, especially they do have like legit problems. It's like, geez, like the contrast is like wild. It's like, it is wild. It is actually wild, man. People chanting everywhere. And then the guy who was there, who was over 40, it was like, this is the moment that really scared me. The guy was trying to trick me into staying inside. There was a moment where he didn't say anything else. He didn't say anything to me except this. He was like, so, do you ever meditate? And he was like, yeah. So, when you meditate, what I do, I just say, they're coming for me, or something like, or he said like some type of phrase, like, I don't know. And you have to just repeat that over and over and over again. That's what you have to do. I was like, okay, man, okay. And he was like, yeah. And he walked off. I was like, wow. I see why he might be in here. Because then they said, you might be a danger to others. Because I don't know anyone who would try to convince somebody that they, like, I don't know. Like, if somebody's trying to evaluate you and they want to see what you are, if they come up on you and you're like chanting, then come on, man, come on, right? Come on. Like, what do you think they're gonna think? They're gonna think, okay, you might need to stay in here. And the other scary thing was like, are you sure you don't need medication? They came out to me about like 10 times about sleep. And they're like, are you tired? Are you tired? They basically were like, well, if you want to make it through the night, are you sure you don't want medication? I was like, no, no, I'm good. Like, I was laughing because it was like ridiculous because they were, it was almost like it's protocol because these people were like, they were acting like they were in a hotel asking for medication. Yeah, give me this medication. I need this thing. I need Bear. I need Advil. I need this. I need that. And some more intense, like, freaking medication like Tramadol. And I was like, ooh, I know exactly what Tramadol does because guess what? I need to re-register if I want to keep working, but I'm a registered pharmacy technician, okay? So I know what each medication does to your body. Okay? So I'm not going to take nothing. Okay? I don't care. It is okay. I don't get, even for any of you out there, do not take medication. You do not need it. It is for people who don't have, it's for people who do not have a choice. Like, there are actual medical, conditions where you cannot go to sleep. And these people can't go to sleep. And then you take the medication. Like, they physically can't do it. Like, I can't. I've been up for 2 weeks. Come on, you got to help me out. That's when you need that medication. You know? Like, that's when you need it. If you're saying, oh man, I'm restless, or, I feel I can't fall asleep now or something. It might mean that you're kind of worried about something in your real life, and you just need to eat some food or something with melatonin in it or something that can develop your, thank you for the follow, something that can develop your your sleep cycle, and then you fall asleep. Maybe you haven't worked out enough. Maybe you haven't done enough exercise. You're not using enough energy in your life, and so of course you're not really going to be tired because you have all this reserve energy. And maybe you might be excited about the next day. It might be a good thing that you can't go to sleep because you're like, oh, I can't wait to get to the next day, so you stay up. Like, there's all these other things that people go to the doctor saying, I can't sleep, and then the doctor has to give out the medication because they literally had to listen to what the patient says. They're like, okay, this person cannot go to sleep. What my 7 years of education has taught me is that if somebody not go to sleep, I have to prescribe them this medication that is so intense. And now we have the reason why there's a drug epidemic in America. That's the reason. This is the cycle. I realized the cycle when I was in there. I was like, okay, some of these people, need help, right? But then some people might be kind of forcing it, and they might say, I need it. I need this, right? And so they have to comply and give out medication. But what they were trying to do for me is like, do you need anything? Do you need medication? Do you need it? Because that's what they're used to. It's scary. Are you sure you don't? No. Well, no. Meds have permanent side effects even if you stop taking them. Exactly. Come on, dude. I'm not gonna be like him. That's why you're taking it responsibly. There's not. I'm sorry, but even taking it one time is you're gonna get those side effects whether you like it or not. I'm telling you, like, you gotta just research the medications. All right, there is a website. And there's also like controlled substances by the DEA. There's certain levels. There's like controlled substances like level 1 through 5 and stuff. And certain people go for, I think, the level 5 all the time. And those people are like criminals, so you shouldn't trust them. And if somebody you should learn what's on those lists, because if somebody's in passing is talking about them, then you really shouldn't be associating with that person, because they're literally breaking a federal crime, and you both can go to jail for life. So it's like, come on, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. So essentially, when they first started taking me in, they kind of stripped me bare, right? And they had to check if there was any cuts or bruises. I wish I showed them this. I wish I showed them this. I was like, hey, check this thing right here. Like, this is from the handcuffs right here. Come on. They didn't see that. They just kind of went for my feet. I had calluses on my feet. And that's because I kind of drive all the time. So when I'm wearing crappy $20 shoes, the heel of the shoe digs into my heel. So it creates a callus. So they thought it was like, oh, it must be from walking so much. And it's like, I wanted to say that's not the reason why, but I knew better not to say anything. So like the person who was checking me, I hated this. Do I want to say this? No, I'm not gonna say it. No, because you guys are gonna take it and run with that. You're gonna take it and run. Right? But I don't know. It's like the truth of male human beings, and she let it slip out, and it was like, dang, is that you couldn't control yourself? Basically, sure. I had to. Okay, whoever is really listening can understand that there are certain moments when appendage, the structures on the man gets, retracted. Retracted. And you can't. No, maybe I should say that because this is like kind of like. It's kind of like cruel. It was kind of cruel in that moment. It was cruel. And she let it slip. That was cruel. I don't care. She let it slip. And I understand exactly what she meant. And it was really. It was so embarrassing. And it made me feel like shit. It really did. Because I realized that I'm being forced in this situation. And I'm being forced to show somebody myself, and they are judging. They're literally making a judgment on my body parts, and it's like, in this situation, you can definitely tell that this is not the the time to like judge somebody on their body parts. But she let it slip because she probably had like some type of like, I don't know, preconceived notion of what she was going to see. But that's not how human beings are. That's not how human beings work, especially African American human beings, especially how I work, because I'm a little mixed with European and Filipino and things. But still, the length is there. The length is there, but it's like, it shows itself when it needs to show itself. Okay. And so she was like, basically, yeah, most of you don't. I hope most of you understand what I'm talking about. Most of you guys should understand what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, you guys, yeah. Yes, thank you. Yes, you understand, okay? Okay, he understands. It was like, she let it slip. She said little. And I was like, what do you expect from this situation? I'm terrified. You think I'm going to be showing out? Like, what are you doing? Like, are you a medical professional? Like, oh my God. What is... Because I felt like Michael Jackson in that situation. Because this is literally what he went through. When he was checked in... Okay, there was a moment in Michael Jackson's life when he was checked in for all of the controversy that he was in. He was literally forced to strip naked, exactly how I was, and they made the same freaking declination. I was like, oh, this is like the same thing. This is the same exact thing. This is what he went through. I was like, God, this is what people go through. It's like, okay, it's terrible. It's pretty terrible. It's pretty terrible. So, like, that was bad. I didn't like that. And so that made me feel really bad. So continuing on from that situation, it was just like they were trying to get me out of there as fast as possible, honestly. Because things were tensing up, and like you can tell how things get tense in there. I can tell. Because when they said I was being discharged, after the psychiatrist saw me, after the doctor saw me, they're like, you don't belong in here. They didn't prescribe anything. They didn't medicate anything. They didn't refer me. Did they? They probably legally had to. They had to legally say that they referred me, right? But it's like, come on. So like, you can hear all the other guys start to like actually show their true colors, because some of these other people, they really were there for like days, already there for a week, right? Even the person I was there with, right? I was in the room. It was like a roommate. And that guy, he got upset. He was like, "Why is that guy getting out now?" Like, and then he started like rambling. And as as he was rambling, you can start to hear exactly why he was actually in there. Like the disconnect, the actual physical mental disconnect. Because I'm sorry, but it's not normal. It might be normal in like other cultures for you to be living with your parents, but in his life, it didn't seem like he was a normal, like he was in a normal life. You know, it seemed like he was like challenged, but didn't really realize it. And then he was living with his parents. He was over 40 years old. I'm gonna leave it at that. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. I didn't even realize that. And then also, this is another thing, right? Okay, in my wallet, multiple licenses, right? Multiple driver's licenses, because I just wanted to keep them for myself, just for memorabilia, right? Literally, they didn't believe that the licenses that I was showing them were the actual licenses. And that was the weirdest thing. Even when the RN was checking all the information, she realized that they didn't take in the right license. They just like ignored it. They literally ignored the actual driver license that I had. I had it over for a year, right? So they took the one that was from Virginia from like 3 years ago. Like, no, 4 years ago. They were like, this is the license. And I was like, okay. That's actually something's going on here, all right? I don't know what that was, because they got the date wrong. They got my birth date wrong. They got that wrong. It was like they just basically lied about all this information, even though it's on the driver's license. You can literally open up the wallet, and then it's just right there in front of you. And then they got my home address wrong. I was like, why? Why did that happen like that? How did that go through? Like, what were they thinking about me? Because obviously they thought that I was lying about everything, about where I lived, how old I was, all of that. They're like, he's lying. This is what I think he actually is. This is where I think he lives. I think he made up all this other stuff, even though this is very verifiable information. I was able to literally walk back home. That's why I felt like it was like almost hopeless. I was terrified. I was terrified. You know? Do you think it's something to do with all the exposing the killings of XXX and Nipsey Hussle and Mac Miller and all this? I don't think so. How am I supposed to know? That's why I told the RN. I was like, I'm not going to say anything. That's why I'm exposing all this stuff now. I'm deciding to talk about everything now, because, I'm not going to say why it happened. I'm just going to say that it happened, just in case something else happens to me, because I don't know why things happen, so I don't say anything. I told the RN, like, if I don't have evidence on why something happens, why should I say anything at all? So I kept silent about a lot of things that happened to me in the past, like, months, with all the the random police showings up. The police accostings, just so, with the weird interactions and people like messing with my car, people hacking into my systems. Someone hacked into my website into my mail website, right? Into the mail server. And literally, it showed a different IP address that wasn't mine. So I literally was able to see that it was a phone. Someone hacked into the website, got into the system, and it logged the information. I'm sure they didn't know it would do that, but I knew that, so I left that there. And I was like, okay, this is evidence right here. And I was like, something's happening here. But what am I gonna do, right? What am I gonna do? Who am I gonna go to? The police? And then I did, and they're like, just move away. And so now who? Now where do I go? What do I do? So I'm on my own. Literally on this. I'm on my own. So oh my god. See, and then we got people coming in here. All I'm doing is like explaining the situation. I don't need people like this in here. They're just gonna like basically make me out to be like some type of weirdo. Because I'm not really making any like hard accusations. I'm literally saying, hey, all these things are happening. Can you believe that? This happened. Can you believe that? This happened. Can you believe that? And then people are just saying I'm lying. I don't know why, when there's like literal evidence. I don't know. It's just sad to not even. It's sad not to even have like help. You want the logs of my personal website? No, you're not gonna see the logs. What do I think is going on? I don't know what's going on, so I don't think anything's going on. I'm ignoring it. Whatever, you know. I'm not dead, so that's good. So I'm just gonna keep working. That's normal, and that's it. That's it. I mean, what else can I do? What else can I hope for? It's literally the situation that happened. Like, and also I have to say this again. This didn't happen on a live stream. This was not happening on a live stream. This literally just happened randomly, but so perfectly. Like, so perfectly. Right outside, right out as I was getting down to my car. That was it. So I don't know. I would much rather have this information out there on the internet so it can get circulated, so it's not centralized in one place, than just keeping everything to myself. There are no coincidences. I don't know. There are coincidences, but would I? Because I was so sad. I don't know. In that moment, I was sad that a police officer was right in front of my face saying I fit a description. I was sad. I was sad. That's how I said exactly how I felt. And that's what I shouldn't have done. I should not have done that at all. I should not have done that. It gave them everything they needed. But I don't know. Let me look up. Let me look up the law under this code. Interesting. Can you refuse it? Right to refuse. Interesting. I wish I knew this before this happened. I wish I knew this before I had. Oh my god, there's a bunch of information. Of course they're like on these org sites. You know, these organization sites. They have to read through to find the right information. But that's how you know it's legit. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. Man, it was one of the weird coincidences that have happened to you. The weird coincidences were, boy, I was in Upland driving for Lyft, and then a police officer pulled me over. He got really close back to on the back of my car. It was like, it was like right as I was just about to drop these people off. Then, literally, he said I was doing a weird left turn, very weird left turn. Was because literally he was it was like bumper to bumper. So I felt like I had to move up a little just to make the left turn. So I did. And he was like, you know. And then the police officer comes up and the guy's face was completely bald. It was just nothing. He didn't have eyebrows, no mustache, no beard, just nothing on his face. Really tall guy, like bumps everywhere. Just bumps everywhere. He had bumps everywhere. I don't know if they were shave bumps or there were some mumps or some type of lesion. That's what he had on his face, okay? And then he didn't say anything when he got up to the car. He didn't say anything. And then the passengers in the back of me, I was like, do you guys want to get out? Because we're right next to their house. We're literally feet away from their house, right? Two dudes, right? They're like so calm. Hey, just comply with the officer. That's exactly the tone they used. Just comply with the officer. I was like, do you guys want to get out? They're like, no, just comply with the officer. I was just like, okay, all right, okay. And then I gave him my driver's license out of habit. He didn't ask for it. He just, all he said was like, do you know why I pulled you over? And I said, no. He said, yeah, you made a weird left turn. And I was like, okay. And then gave him the license. He didn't ask for it. He didn't even ask for the registration. I actually only gave him the license, actually. And then he was like, he didn't say anything. He just looked at the card. He looked at it, looked at the back of it, and he said, "You're in a Lyft ride?" I was like, "Yes." And he just like gave the card back and left. He didn't check it into his computer. He didn't check anything. It was like he was stopped. It was like he was stopped. It was like whatever you wanted to do, he couldn't do it. Or whatever he thought I was doing wasn't what I was doing, obviously. But it was like, so what was the real reason? Because obviously it was something kind of, not really obvious. He's trying to do something else. I don't know what it was. That was weird. It was very weird. It terrified me. And, after it was crazy. It was like a snap, like 20-second disappearance of everybody, right? The passengers get out. They start walking, right? I look behind. The officer's already gone. When I turn around, the people are gone. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what happened? Do they just disappear in the air? Like, can human beings do that? Did I just not see them go inside? Like, what did I see? What was I? And I just drove out of the neighborhood. And I was there. It was a quiet neighborhood. It was nice homes everywhere. Like, do they think that I was doing something wrong? I don't know. It was kind of weird that he asked me that if I was doing like a Lyft ride, because there's Uber stickers and Lyft stickers all over the car. And then on the phone, you can see that like the Uber hub, or it was Lyft, The Lyft hub is on. You can see that. You can just look there and it's like, okay, I'm in a ride right now. What? What are you talking about? It's like, come on, man. And Tim Duncan, I already said I was acting erratically. I already said I was being way too emotional. I've already said that multiple times. And it wasn't on live stream. It was not on live stream, just to let you all know. It was not on a live stream. This was something I recorded with my phone. I'm so glad it wasn't on a live stream because literally when I got my phone back, the Twitch app was open. And I didn't open the Twitch app. That wasn't me. I didn't open it. Somebody opened it, and they were trying to make sure it was a live stream. So they might have tried to delete the VOD. But it wasn't a VOD. It wasn't a video. It wasn't. It's like, oh my god! I was like, okay, this is getting scary. Okay, it's like, all right. One weird occurrence tells more. All right, I'll tell you the tirade of tales of the last year. Okay, so I was in, what was it, around Redondo Beach area, just doing my thing with Uber. Then all of a sudden, I wish I had the dash cam. I wish I had a dash cam so I could show you exactly what happened. But okay, I stopped at a stoplight. It was just there. It was kind of long. It went a little long this time. I was like, all right, this is a little long. First of all, an officer behind me starts going, boom, shoot, bah, just goes. Makes a right. I was like, whoa, that guy went fast. Zip. I was like, all right, okay. Then across from me, a car takes a left. Boom. We're all at a red light. Then I'm telling you, about 5 to 6 other cop cars start going one way then the other way. One way then the other way. Like, they're all different cars. They're all going fast. It was just like all at once, and then it all stopped, and I was like, cool. Wow, that was eventful. It all happened all at once. I was like, it's almost like they thought somebody was doing something, but then it was called off, and then they just went off. And I was like, all right, cool. Then, as I was opening up a new Instagram, this is a new Instagram that no one knows about, no one should know about. I try to just like log into it after I open it. It was like seconds after I open it, all of a sudden the passwords changed. The passwords changed immediately. And I wish I could get that login information. Oh my god, that would make it would shut a lot of people up. But like, hold on, what the hell? That word should not be here. Let's see here. I have to get rid of that word. But essentially, it's no one should even know that I was making that account. For some reason, they were able to find out exactly when I was making it, how I was making it, where to go, exactly what to say, and then exactly what the password was. And then Dennison, thank you for the follow. Then it was like perfect for them. It was very weird. It was very weird. So that was scary, and then it was a bunch of hackings. My freaking router password got and still does periodically get changed. Like it's like I can't even log into the router. I was like, the first time I got inside here, all of a sudden, like, my router was changed. The router password was just changed. It was just like immediately, boom. I was like, how is that possible? Actually. And I changed it again, it was changed. Changed it again, it was changed. This happened for like a good month. was a good month when this happened. It was a good month. I was really worried that somebody was hacking me. That's why I was saying that someone was hacking me. But I have all that information is in there. It's in the log. I mean, I'm sure it's like literally listed when the password was changed. So if I changed it and then there was like another read receipt that it was changed by another IP address, then that's a problem because someone else was connected. And that's why I found out that there was another computer connected to my router. And I was like, okay, well, I have to block that immediately. But I was like, should I keep it on here, collect all the IP information, and then block it? Or do I block it right now, get them out of the system, and then record the information, take a screenshot? So that's what I did. I was like, whatever, I'm just going to get rid of it and keep going. Because I had no time. I had to work. All the time. So it was like, it was really scary. So it was scary. I don't know. It was just scary. A lot of stuff was very scary. So like, Nova, do not permit curse words. Do not, man. Do not permit those terms. You cannot permit that. You just don't permit that, because what you're gonna do is you're enabling people. You're literally enabling people to like curse and get really toxic. That's what's happening. You can't do that. I'm sorry, man. I don't allow that here. I'm not gonna allow that here. So like, I don't know. I don't know. A lot of things have happened immediately and then instantly, and it's obviously something not very good. And then yeah, I mean, how many coincidences can you count on your hand and then say something's not wrong? Like how many? Like how many does it take for you to actually start speaking up about whatever's happening in your life, and then you're like saying, well, something's happening, and then every time you say something that's happening, like, hey, this happened, and people are like, you're crazy, that didn't happen. Like I remember when I said, I literally have video evidence of someone breaking into my storage unit. And then you got like SJC saying that was a lie. I was like, who are you? All right. First of all, to just immediately deny it when I have literal video evidence of a breaking and entering. What else do you need? It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. And now you got what's her face? Now you got Tila, what's her face? Tila Tequila in all of this mess. Like, you guys, this whole grouping of people sometimes scare me. It's very, very negative, obviously. And as I try to make something positive, it seemed like in the past that wasn't really what anyone wanted. But then the people who stayed around liked the positive content. That's good. That's good. I like that. Okay? I like that. So I don't know what's gonna happen in the next few months. I hope nothing else happens. If something happens, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna put it online, because obviously it seems to be leading up to some type of situation that I won't be able to control. And I can't even say what I can't do now. Those of you who know about this code know what I can't do now. And then it seems like that's what they wanted to happen. In your chat, come on, man. I'm trying to actually say stuff that's very that's very important. You're like, you're Norman. You talk with this about your family. Yes, I did. Okay, I answered your question. I'm sorry I missed it. I am sorry I missed it. You know. Of course I'm not suicidal. Of course, man. Why is it so bad? Why is it a bad thing to just be sad sometimes? Can I not be sad as a man? Can I not be sad about things? That's a crappy thing. I think that's the worst thing about becoming an adult male, right? Because every time you show emotion and you're honest about what you're feeling, then people say you're crazy, say you're weak, there's something wrong with you. And then that makes you even feel sadder because now you can't show your emotion, and then it comes out in bursts, like boom, it's like, and then who can you even talk to? I don't talk to anybody about how I'm feeling. I don't have anyone to talk to really except the chat. I say a bunch of stuff, and I say that through my music. It's all in my music. I'm just about to release another song about how I feel. It's all in there. People connect to it because I'm putting what I feel inside of it, and it's like it's the most honest part of me. My music is literally the most honest part of me, and that's literally the reason why people make music. That's the reason. That's why you shouldn't be making it for the hoes or the money. It's like you're not gonna get anywhere. You're just gonna all you're gonna do is you're just gonna regurgitate this numbness that people feel. I think it's good to feel low sometimes. Yeah. Do like me listen to Drake and cry at night. What advice do you have for a person that does not enjoy video games and TV shows anymore? You gotta go and you gotta look in other countries because other people are doing great things in other countries, and you'll be able to find better TV shows there. I have. So like that's that's what you gotta do. You got to like start seeking out something that will make you happy, and you have to remember things that will make you happy. That's what I've done. I have done that, and that is a good thing. I like that I have actually, figured out ways to make myself happy regardless of what happens out there. Like imagine you're like you're on cloud nine. Like that night I was on cloud nine. I was setting up everything I needed for the music video. I was saying like, okay, perfect. I was like basically making the music video concept for one of my songs. I was like, okay, this is going to be like this, and I'm going to get this color scheme, and, I'm going to get like this motion capture graphic and get this program in and actually set this up. And I was planning all this other stuff out. And then I was like, cool, I have it all set up. I'm going to go out and do some work. And that's what I'm going to do. And I planned out exactly what I could do in terms of bills and rent and, all this other stuff and loans and all that. And then I went out, and then all of a sudden the police officer was like, get on the ground. It's like, what is it this time? And that maybe that just like struck me down all the way down to like the most saddest emotion I've ever felt. Hey, TC Temple. hey. Oh. All right, man. So why did you tell him? Why did the officer tell me to get down? Because he said I fit a description, And the description was so perfect. Actually, the description that he said was wrong because I already called the after this whole thing. I called the AutoZone employee and I asked them what they said the person was, and they said the person had dreads, and I do not have dreads. I have an afro. Okay, I have an afro. They said we're in all black and dreads, right? And then the officer that pulled me over said, I don't, he like 6 foot, wearing all black, African American, and that's what he said. So I don't know where this officer just left out dreads. He's like, in literal minutes of a robbery happening, I don't know who would be able just to cut off all their dreads, but then also walk across the street from the place where it happened. Like, why would anyone do that? It's like you rob a place, and then all of a sudden you just walk across the street. Thank you for the follow, Lukey. Plays in the wrong time. Simple. You think? Okay. See, you're the type of person to say that wrong place, wrong time. But this is perfect though, because it was right outside my apartment, and it was right as I was going to work. So I don't know what type of like cosmic coincidence that could cause this so perfectly to happen for me to perfectly fit the description for the place that was robbed to be right outside my apartment. That seems a little fishy to you, does it? Would you not question the situation? Would you not? Especially when you know where you were. The officer did not ask me where I was. He did not. He did not ask me where I was. He did not ask me what I was doing at this time. He didn't give a time of when it happened. He didn't say at this time, where were you? You know? He just said, you fit the description, sit down. And as I complied, he stopped asking questions. Because he started asking, it's like he didn't want to ask the questions about the suspect thing. That was the crazy thing. He stopped asking those questions. Both officers. He was like, you want us to do our job? And I was like, okay, then do your job. And then they stopped. They're like, forget it. It was like I don't know. It's like, it's like, I don't know. Whatever, man. Whatever, man. Whatever. Who cares? Nothing happened. It's fine. Well, something happened. I have a scar now. Like an actual scar. Great. Great. I have to put makeup on that. How many scars would I have to put makeup on when I do all these music videos now? It's like, okay, I'm going to have to put makeup on here. Just, people are going to be like, oh, dang, that guy has like a scar on his... Jesus. Jeez, man. So, I think that explains my experience inside this whole situation, and I'm done with it. I'm ready to move on from it. That's it. How long? 6 hours. About 6 hours, right? 10, 6, 9 hours. It's like 10 to 9, 10 p.m. to 9 a.m. What's the new evidence? The new evidence. All right. Okay. Yeah, I have to show this again because there's a new sloth of people in here. You'll put makeup on it for a music video. I'm gonna put makeup on that. Okay. This is it right here. So that's how it started. My wrist started to bleed. Okay. My wrist started to bleed. That's how tight this guy had it on there, because at first it was worse, and then all the skin kind of just went back to normal, and you can see obviously that it looks fine right here, but then you don't have any physical evidence that it was too tight except that, and then that was that. So that was evidence that something happened Imagine. I mean, obviously, it was tight enough to start cutting to the tissue and make me bleed. So I don't know why you would. I don't know why you would try to submit somebody to a health clinic and then put them in pain while they're going there. Like, I don't know what he was trying to do. I don't know what he was trying to do. City I live in? Who knows? Who knows what city I live in? Who knows? Who knows? I know. And apparently, let me see if I can I need to read the actual law on this a while about why they were able to do this and why I couldn't say no to this, because it's essentially you can't say no ever to the police officers. It seems it's like no matter what, they can say anything about you. It seemed like they could just say anything and then just go along with. I have to go along with it just because they say so. And it's like you can't protest anything, because that's what I was doing. I was like protesting the situation. I was like, why is this happening? Like, explain yourself. Like, they didn't explain themselves. They didn't come up with like any type of like real. This is why we're here. You fit this description. They just said sit down. I was like, why sit down because of what reason? That's the craziest thing. You just I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, God. I know. That's what I felt in the situation. Oh, you're back. Oh my God, Dell 62. The hardest I don't know what to call it. You're a very abrasive fellow with your words, which you type. Is there a clip? There's no clip. It's the video. There's not. It wasn't a live stream. This did not happen on a live stream. You know. He didn't say I was being detained though. He didn't say I was being detained. He's saying how you see it. Of course, it's so perfect, right? Is the wrong letter on us? I don't know. But he didn't say I was being detained. It's not like you're supposed to do like a logic equation. They're supposed to just say it out. That's if that's how it works, then they should say it, right? They should say it. That's why they're supposed to read your remainder rights, right? Miranda rights. Jeez. Remainder. Lol. We can cuff you without detaining. Well, how'd he do then, right? Well, how'd he do? Apparently, they can cuff you without detaining you. Let's find out if that's true. I want to know now, because I don't want to end up in this situation again. Can the police cuff you without detaining you? Because that means a police officer can literally walk up to a random person. This is legal for an officer to handcuff a suspect while detaining those who may be involved in a crime, while officer figures out what crimes were committed and who committed them. All right, then, you know. But he didn't say I was being detained without a warrant. If the officer has reasonable suspicion that this person was involved in a crime, the officer may use reasonable force to effect that detention. But then, why did they not say I was being detained? They didn't say that. They just said sit down. I sat down. I don't know why they didn't say any of this. Like, why not at least say what you're gonna do, right? Is that what you're supposed to do? No. Is that what do you want me to say, right? Like, come on. And now I have to get in an argument. Jeez. That's why I banned this guy. That's why I banned. Because it's just an argument and they're just going to be against me. It just insults me. That person comes inside just to insult me. It's crazy. Why did I even... How did that person even get, like, I'm banned? Like, I don't understand. But it's crazy. It's like, just because they say they can do whatever you want, that's like... craziness. I said they do Gitmo? Gitmo? Really? You mentioned Gitmo? Oh yeah, I know. Okay, well, I mean, like, I don't know, man. That's all I really wanted to show. I just wanted to show that there's like they cuffed me so tight that my freaking arms, my hands were gonna get like some type of lacerations. I wasn't even gonna be able to like play guitar as well anymore. It's like, dang. Especially on this one. It was like, seemed a little weird. I was like, why does this feel like I'm bleeding? It was like, oh, I was bleeding. Oh, dang. If you're gonna say no to that, then I don't know what else to show. It's like, if there's a there's a scar it's bleeding. I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want. I don't know why people come in here to like protest something that I'm not even like even lying about. No one would believe me if I didn't take pictures of it. If I didn't make a video of it. You know, if I didn't start recording it, then no one would believe me. And I think that's the best thing that happened right there. I recorded it. So everybody can see what happened. Everyone. If you told, I said it was too tight. I said it was very tight. I said it. I said that myself. It's not like they, I don't know. It's not like they cared. That's how I feel. I still can have a court case for it though, which I'm sure gonna win. But it's like, do I have time to go to the court? You know, do I have time to actually sit in there just to get my right? My Second Amendment right back. Can I? Is that all right to do? Because I was forced in there. No, you guys don't understand why I said this. You guys don't understand why I mentioned court. You don't understand why I don't why. I'm not gonna mention why I said that again because I just want to keep that on the down low for the most part, just in case. Because I think might actually be in danger now because I think this might have been a plot. Someone must have known my emotional state, so they kind of set this up, knowing that I would have some type of outburst. So like it would be easier to prevent me from like protecting myself if I didn't have my Second Amendment right. All right. Anyway, this was exactly what I thought it was gonna be. Most people coming through saying like, I don't know. I don't believe that. You're wrong on this. You're wrong on that. Let's hope nothing happens. Honestly, whatever. Who cares, right? Who cares? I sure don't. FBI does crazy stuff, but why would they? I don't know. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know what the reason is. All I know is that I got way too emotional, and that's it. That's it. That's it. Fuzi, no. Okay. Fuzi can't help anyone. All right. Fuzi cannot help anyone. Okay. That's. Why do you say that? Oh my god. Oh, of course. Here we go. Look at it from both sides. I literally just said I got too emotional. I kept saying that. I keep saying that, and people still want to like say, "Oh, yeah, you got to look it for both sides. You might have been in the wrong in this." It's like, yeah, I keep saying that I was too emotional. I was wrong for being too emotional, and I said something I shouldn't have said. I said what I was feeling. I shouldn't have done that. Kept saying that, but everybody doesn't like that though. No one. It seems like no one likes that I'm being self-critical in this situation. And that's what it seems like. It seems like people are like ignoring that. Okay, he's being self-aware on it. That's the first thing I said. Even in the freaking YouTube video that I uploaded, it was like I said, just comply. That's what I said in the title. Even in the description, I said I should not have been emotional. I kept saying that. Obviously, that's like the obvious thing, you know. But I still was afraid of why it was happening because it was so perfect. See? And now I can't even talk about that because people are going to be like, oh, you're being too suspicious about it, right? When all these other things have been happening to me that most people are saying that is, oh, I don't know if that's true or not, right? And then this happens. And then I have to like talk about it, but then also in a way that is not like coming to any type of conclusion because people are going to say that he's becoming schizophrenic. But I'm barely even creating conclusions. All I'm saying is the things that are happening to me, and then I'm leaving at that. That's where I'm leaving it at. I'm like, okay, this happened, folks, and people are like, well, it was a coincidence, and I'm like, well, this happened also, and they're like, oh, it's a coincidence. And I'm like, this happened also, and I'm like, coincidence. It's like you guys are constantly ignoring things over and over and over and over again, and then if something happens that's fatal, then I don't know, then like, then what else would people be saying then. And that's what I'm trying to prevent by at least talking about it. But, you know, who cares? Womp womp. Womp womp. That's it. That's how I feel. Womp womp. That's how I feel. So, stop thinking like that. I have to think like that. I'm sorry. I have to think like that because I don't know what else to say. Playing victim card, oh geez, going through. See, there you go. Got these people over and over again. See, no matter what you said, no matter what you say, is always gonna be some type of like accusation to me. Even though I'm saying like, oh, this happened, there are people like, oh, it's you. You caused this. It's like, oh, did I cause this? You start thinking about it, it's like, oh God. Oh. How many van words? A lot of van words. A lot of van words. A lot of van words. Because look how the chat is. It's like normal. Think about look at what the chat's looking like. It's pretty good, you know? It's looking pretty good, man. It's like, what do you even want from life anymore? Where you're like, I don't know, whatever. It's sad. It's sad, man. Who's doing that? I was just so emotional with the situation. No one's going full Etika mode, man. Come on. You don't need to mention his name. Okay. How's my song doing? It's fine. It's great. It's great. That's a good segue. Song, music. How where I'm putting my emotions on, you know, it's going great, you know. So literally it's like it's great actually. I just need to try and figure out whether or not I need an album, you know? I think I was literally being scouted because you can tell you're being scouted when certain videos start coming up on the recommendeds and it's being linked to like they're trying to like what they do when a label is scouting you. They're like, okay, let's see. They're trying to make a concert, you know, because they're trying to sell tickets for a tour. So they're like, what artist does he like match up with? And I was receiving some very interesting artists on there. It was like Shaq. It was like Shaq at like some type of summer festival doing techno. I was like, that's pretty interesting. I don't know why Shaq is being recommended after my video, but hey, if there is something happening with the label, then I'm really with it. I'm really with it. Because that's the best thing I need. I don't think it's most people are like really against going with the label. But the thing about it is for exposure, for actually making your music heard, I think is better. And I think most people don't go to labels because of money reasons. So it's like you're actually revealing that all you really care about is your money. But if you really don't care about your money, then all you need to do is make music. Like that's what you're doing, right? I mean, like you can have in the contract that no one touches your music. You can have in the contract that no one works on your music except yourself, and then you get to choose. That's what I would do. I would say, no, we're not bringing another producer. We're not bringing another writer or composer. I'm composing and writing my own music, okay? And then I'm going to make it how I want it, and I'm not going to have somebody tell me what to make. All they're going to want is the music. The label, the CEO of the label is like, where's your next album? Where's your next single? Come on, we need to start selling things. The new quarter is on, and we need to boost our numbers. So where is your video? Where's all the marketing? Where's all this stuff? Do you have a plan? And I have a plan. I have all this stuff ready, it's just kind of like it's kind of weird when you got a lot of like indie artists who are just kind of like all about money and all about how evil corporations are. Like corporations aren't the thing that actually made most artists that you like famous, and that gave you like literally exposure. And then what it all came down to is money, as if they didn't have enough. They're like rolling in Bentleys and living in mansions, and they're like, "Where's my money?" It's like, what do you, what are you talking about? Where's your money? It's like there in that gold chain that you're wearing. Like, you use it. You could have saved that money on that. Like, you didn't need that. Like, no one told these people to like literally buy thousands of houses, yachts, and freaking jewelry. They could have invested it in all these other different things. It's like I don't know. It seems it seems it seems very odd to me that there's like a glorification of money in a music business when all anyone wants is the music. So that's what you should be giving out, right? You shouldn't, and people are willing to pay for the music. So like, then you should be happy that that's happening. I don't know how they feel to pay for their toilet butlers and their chefs, their personal chefs. And I think it comes down to that, like, most people don't make their own music. I think that's where it comes down to. Most people do not make their own music. They get another producer, they get another composer, they get another writer, and they're not self-reliant artists that make their own like sound. A sound is made for them, and what they are is a face for the company to show out to the world. But when you have somebody self-reliant like me, who's making my own music, producing it all, writing it all, then they don't even have to like they don't have to like buy a producer, or composer, or writer. They can just say, okay, we need another one, man. And it's like, cool, I can make that. Trust me, I have hundreds of songs. I have too many songs. The album that I want to do is 24 tracks. 24. 24 songs. Most of them are mixtures of like rock, and then New Jack Swing, and then like soul, brass soul, this jazzy brass soul. Like, I have a lot of music that I want to make, and I don't have the time to like sit down and like just like make it all right. But if you're signed by a label, they're like, okay, we'll give you this amount of time, this amount of money, make the album. And if you can do that, and it's like, oh, great, that was awesome, thanks. That's it. We'll market it and get it on the way. You know what I mean? It's like that's what it's supposed to be. But I think there's like I think people calling it a sellout. I think that's not what happens. I think people get into a label and then like sell out when they ask for the money. They point their finger back at the label. They're like, you need to give me money, even though they're already rich. They're already rich. They're there. It's like, how much other more money do you need? Do you need another island? What do you need? They're like, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's a health clinic. Health clinic. Health clinic. Return of the Mac. Health clinic. Health clinic. They didn't lock me up as a health clinic. Health clinic. One of my songs? Sure, I can play one of my songs. Wait, no, I don't want to. I'll wait for another time. I don't think this is the right audience. Not the right audience. Not the right audience. You can find it on your own. Find it on your own. All right. Anyway, in terms of IRL streams, I need to get to all of that, and I've been planning to do some very fun things because, I mean, like that's what I want to do, but it's like all this other stuff is in the way, so it's kind of unfortunate that I have to go through all of that just to get to like IRL streaming and all this other stuff that I need to. I want to have fun too. I like IRL streaming. I do, but it's just that I need to take care of my personal life. I have to take care of my financial life. I work, like 12 hours a day at least. At least I try to get to 12 hours a day. It's easier for me to get to 12 hours a day when I do one like 10-hour day, and then I get to the 12, and then the 16. The 16 and the 18 is like, yes, like I like it. I like to work, okay? And so at least what I'm trying to do now is staying consistent with streaming and then getting to work, because all I've been doing in the past few months is working, and now I'm able just to work over and over and over again without any hindrance. So that's it, No normie stuff. Well, sorry, but that's what is norm. Okay, you guys want like craziness. You guys can go to Tila Tequila for that, okay? All right. I'm sorry. Okay, like you guys. She has changed. A lot of people have changed. It's like, dude. Oh boy, Fate Tequila. No, that's her. That is her. Yeah, I'm not a part of CX, okay? I'm not a part of this ticket. I'm not CX. All right. I went for I was not even ever a butler, okay? I auditioned to be one, but then I didn't realize how like accusatory all of these people would be and just like viciously mean for no reason. Like it just you think you have like an idea of a person, and for the most part, you do, right? And that's there. But then all of a sudden, when all these other things happen, no one expected the FBI to show up at that mansion and then have all that other stuff happen, right? So when fingers started getting pointed, and then people started changing, it was just like, you know what? I felt like I showed myself to be a benefactor, and then other people to be a user, and I stayed out of the way, but then still was called just negative things by people, which surprised me because I was completely out of the way. I was always out of the way. I was never really interacting with any other streamers. I actually showed up to EBZ stream once. I met with Tracksuit before he left. When Paul was leaving, I showed up for that. Lucha did like a little small stream. I showed up for that. And that was it. Other than that, I've been doing solo dolo. I've been doing everything solo. Trying to develop my own streams. Literally, that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. And then, somehow you're a leech. But it's like, I'm such a terrible leech, aren't I? Why? It's like I'm such a terrible leech because I don't even show up in other people's streams all the time. If I do that all the time, then you can call me a leech. But I don't. All right? So I don't know why people have this like description floating about. It's not really there, but like it just gets on my nerves, you know, when there's people who are actually always around these other bigger streamers, and then the actual community that they're building is someone else's community. And you should never do that, because then you'll never have your own community. You never have your own identity. You will never have it. It will be somebody else's. And I realized that the second I got out that whole mansion thing. The second I left, I was like, I'm just gonna try to develop my own stuff, right? And I did. And people are like, I like this stuff, and they stayed and they subscribed, right? And they followed. But then people are like, go back. Go back over there. Go back. I'm like, no, that's not the right thing to do. Because they have their content, they're doing their thing. So I should stay over here. And then when people invited me, like Hyphonics invited me, I showed up. Voldesat invited me over, I showed up. You know? When Adam22, he DM'd me on Twitter. He was like, show up. I showed up. You know? That's all I did. When I was asked to be there, I was there. I didn't even make a big deal out of it. I was just kind of like, okay, cool. What else? What else does anyone want? It's just like, it's sad, man. And then you got the people who are always around the other streamers. Always. No matter without fail. And then no one says anything about them, you know? And then they point fingers down and act like their community is like self-developed, but is not really self-developed. You're actually just like hopping on somebody else's pool, and then you're just collecting. And it's like, thanks, man. Thanks for giving me all this stuff, this free stuff. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, and then you're the other hater. Beefy Squid is the other hater. Another hater, yep. I forget. Sometimes I do forget. People just come inside just to like, just be me mean. Legion isn't a bad thing if you play it right, like some of the successful Twitch streamers. But do they have their own communities? Do they? Do they have their own communities? They don't. When one streamer starts streaming, the bigger streamer that they leached from starts streaming, what happens to their view count? Zip. Zip, it goes all gone. And they're like, oh, there you're streaming now. Do I keep streaming? You know, like, you can do your own stuff, man. Like, I've been doing my own stuff. I do what I want to do, right? I'm not going to do other people's content and babysit their audience. No, you should never do that. You don't never. If you ever wanted to get into live streaming, never get into the actual phenomenon of babysitting someone else's audience, because then they're gonna be like, do this thing that other streamer does, right? And then you start saying like, I'll just leave this at this. For streamers who came from other like who do like really stay close to the bigger streamers like all the time, just listen to what they say. If one of those streamers have a catchphrase, right? You will hear you're gonna hear that catchphrase. You're gonna hear that. You're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear them have the same type of intonation, the same type of speaking pattern. Because half of them is a fan, but then half of them is their own streamer. So so basically they're basically just, I kind of said that weird, but like they're just kind of like morphing themselves into that other person so they can be more liked by that same audience, right? But that doesn't mean that they're their own person, you know? So they become a copycat. And so when you look at a YouTube video that's original, you're not really thinking about them as somebody else. You're only thinking about that video. You're only thinking about that creator. Is their original work. So that audience is going to be developed off of that. So that's what we all should be doing, right? And there's collaboration, but when there's no, I mean, there's a certain point where, collaboration isn't really collaboration. It's like just you kind of you just you're just kind of like latching onto the bigger guy. You're like, come on, where we going, right? Where we going? And so when Paul would what Paul would do? He doesn't. I don't know. What Paul would do, he would come. I know he would come into my chat for a fact, and then he'll say he'll be like a random name, and then he'll say like, how do you feel about Paul, right? And then he'd say, oh, Paul's doing this thing, right? And then all of a sudden I'm hearing my mods said like, oh, Paul invited you, and I'm like, when did that happen? What happened there? I didn't get it. I didn't get a Twitter DM. I didn't get anything, And then it's like loosely on the stream that he said these people are invited, and I'm like, kind of like living my own life. I'm not really always watching him, and then people are getting mad, saying like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't it's like I didn't know it happened. What do you want me to do? Be all knowing? To everything? It's actually ridiculous. I don't know, man. It's fine. IP Live, yeah, that's a timeout. Oh wait, why is that? That should be not here. That shouldn't be here. That shouldn't even be here. These terms should never be. Okay. What else? Yeah, I think that's good, right? Jeez. I had to literally moderate, but this is what literally makes your stream start to work better. Like people start sticking because there's not like an intense amount of toxicity that they're reading. Like I know that affects the people watching. I know what it does. Because if I'm getting the negativity, right? Everybody else is seeing that negativity and it's still affecting them. Everybody's affected by negativity. Everybody is. People usually are attracted to positive environments, right? That's where you go. That's where you watch something funny. You go to a comedy club, right? It's supposed to be something that makes you laugh, right? You're not there to be insulted completely. Illusion, no flies. Thank you for the follow. You're not there to like just kind of be like just lacerated by somebody. Like that's not really a great experience unless that is the experience that you're wanting. There are roast battles in comedy clubs, but obviously it's not really like it's not really something that's wanted by most people. And so I know in this community generally, like a lot of people kind of they say they like negative content, but what they usually stick around for is the positive content. They're wanting. It's so funny. It's like they're always saying like, do this bad thing. But when something really good happens, they're like, yeah, right? Because everybody's hoping that something good happens in the world. And I know that this community is filled with a lot of pessimists and narcissists. Not narcissists, pessimists. Not really narcissism, but a lot of pessimistic behavior gets like passed around here, and a lot of people nihilists and pessimists, like essentially a lot of people are here that are like that and really don't care about a lot of things in general, and then people come through and say a lot of negative things, and you got like the unsuspecting Twitch person who's like, oh, what is in this stream? Click, and then you look at all the negativity, and it's not really being not moderated, which means it's allowed. And so basically they're receiving that also. They're being affected by that. You know? Come on. Well, you have to make sure you at least do better for yourself, you know? And I'm staying away from negative people also, you know? Like I see a lot of crap, you know, like man, like there's some of the things that other streamers do, I can't believe. I can't believe actually. And I wonder like where is it all going, you know? Like I'm trying to build up to like a show, right? And I don't want to have like I don't even care I would even get a streamer that has one viewer if they're a good funny person. You know what I mean? I don't care about like how many I don't care. I don't care about how many viewers they have. You know, I want the show to be good. I don't care about like your following. Are you good? You know? Dang, dude, I went through the ringer of the theater freaking circuit. That's like that's the most gruesome. Dude, you have no idea how the theater world is. They will crucify you in your audition in front of you. In front of you. So every time you do an audition in a theater play, you have to come out perfect. Boom. Prepared. Everything nice. You have to look nice. You have to be nice. You have to talk nice. Everything. Boom. It's not like film where they're looking at only your face and they can only show you're only looking at this. They're looking at your whole body. They're seeing how your whole body moves. So if you want to say something, you have to like say it like you have to do it with like emotion. Like you have to like say, "Oh, I don't know about that," and that's engaging because that is what normal human beings do. Like when you're really talking, when you just watch somebody when they're talking, a good actor imitates what real human beings do because normal people have emotion. They move a lot when they're talking about something, right? So when you're thinking about something, you usually like touch your head. You're like, I don't know, like, you know, you do something like this or like, oh boy, that's like, if you're uncomfortable with something, you're like scratching yourself. You're holding if you feel hurt, you're holding yourself while you're talking. You know, it's like all these small little micro movements are very important in acting, you know? And you have to do all that in theater. But I don't know if that's like too much to ask for from like live streamers who haven't gone through like intense, rigorous entertainment training. I was trained as an actor, but a lot of people don't get into this platform who are trained in a lot of things. So it still is kind of hard, to find a lot of people who do have like traditional like skills in entertainment. But people are there, I'm not asking for like, I'm not asking for Marlon Brando, honestly. So like, just do that. And no, that was not for content. That was not in a live stream. This did not happen in a live stream. That wasn't for content. That just happened. You need to understand that. All right? That wasn't for entertainment. People clipped it to make it seem like it was in a live stream. They cut it out, but that was not for a live stream, okay? Even check the day that I uploaded it. There was no live stream that day. There wasn't an IRL stream. That wasn't for content. That just happened. It's like my real life, okay? So you do need to understand that. And I am cutting off like people who I'm knowing that like I don't know. I feel like dash cam. No, it wasn't a dash cam. It was my phone. My phone. You know, turn on my phone, and then they're like, it was crazy. They knew they did not want to be recorded. I don't know why. When a police officer, if a police officer is like just doing their job normally, it's like, okay, just comply. We'll get you out of here. We just need to know what you. We just need to know where you were if you fit not subscription. If you fit the description, like we just need to know. All right, come on. And then, they didn't want to be on camera. It's like, okay, they have body cams. They do have body cams also. It's not like I can get that information. And they turn off the cam, and they also turn off the phone. I don't know if I don't even know if they legally can turn off the phone. I don't know if they can legally turn off the video, because that's what they did. Because whatever was going to happen next, they definitely didn't want to show it on camera. So, and then they also, some reason, the freaking Twitch app was open. It's like, I don't know, man. Come on, man. So, okay, that's a 2-hour stream, I guess. I said literally everything I needed to say. Got everything out there. It's on the internet now. It's not in a centralized location. So that's good. Needed to actually talk about this. Like, God dang. I don't know what's going to happen, man. I don't know what's going to happen to me. I don't know why these things are happening so perfectly. Like, so perfectly. But let's just hope nothing happens. Who do you call? So who do you call if the cops are harassing you? I don't know. I don't know. You record it. That was not fun. That was not a funny story. They made it more. I put sugar on it. So you could not feel sad while listening to it. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to come through and not make it like totally depressing. At least people can know the information. And that's what they're gonna take away, the information. I don't want you to feel what I was feeling. Let's leave it at that. I don't want you to feel what I was feeling. All right, that's the stream. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with something else. I don't know what I'm gonna do now, but you make a plan for something. Join the Discord. It's in the description over here. So thanks for showing up, and it's time to raid somebody. So let's see. Who shall we raid? Thanks for the follows also. Let's see. Thanks for that, man. Did he not finish this? Oh. No way.
Yes.
He just finished it? Oh, let's raid him. It's time to raid. It's time to raid this guy. Oh my God. It's time to raid him. It's time to raid this guy. All right. Okay. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully it goes well.
고맙습니다. 이제 드디어 켜도 되죠 여러분들. 켜도 되죠 여러분들. 나도 좀 킬게요 이제. 폰 키겠습니다. 나도 좀 폰 키게. 아이 고맙습니다. 아 여기 잠시만. 좀 돌리게. 아, 뭐 고맙습니다. 나도 형 고맙습니다. 아뭐 저렇게 깼습니다. 아 힘들었다. 자뭐 근성으로 깼습니다 여러분들.
You beat it.
근성으로 깨는 거. 아, 야 점프 계속해라. 아유 이제 그만. 아 힘들다.
You beat it. That's crazy.
병신년은 되지 말고 뭔 소리 하세요 지금.
오브제스즈톤이
아이
응원
고맙습니다.
10개 곡창당
감사합니다.
가입을 축하합니다. 김나도 야가다 보내야 됩니다. 노원 부탁드려요. 그건 아닌 것 같아. 그래도 뭐 고맙습니다 여러분들. 자 도와주셔서 감사하고요. 자 일단은 뭐 슬슬 이제 오늘 저녁에는 아마도 한숨 자고 오늘 저녁에는 그걸 할 것 같아요. 아마도 이제 뭘 할 것 같다면 아마도 이제 그 드래곤볼을 할 것 같아요. 드래곤볼. 아 나중에 놀러가니 10개 감사합니다. 축하해. 그래도 디비자라.
아유 고맙습니다. 감사합니다. 이렇게 감사합니다. 고맙습니다. 아유 DLC 안
You beat it.
해.
Yes.
근성 보여드렸죠. 뭐 김나도
Alright.
나도 형 알았어 나도 형 DLC 안 깨 쾅마지 빠삐까지 이것도 그냥 어우 이것도 진짜 근성 왜 옛날 뭐 진짜 할 말 근데
Man, that's awesome that he beat it.
갈고리 할 때는 이런 근성이 안 나오도 솔직히
Okay.
인정해줘야지. 솔직히 인정해줘야 되는 거 아닙니까 여러분들.